G'day Cornerstone. Good to see you. We're almost to the end of another week. I hope you're doing well. It looks like I think we've got a classic Brisbane storm maybe on the way this afternoon tonight, which would be magnificent. So emblematic of summer in Queensland and much needed rain, obviously, and maybe the hail that might come with it, less so needed for our cars and such like. But you know, you got to take the good with the bad. Hope you've had a great week. Happy NAIDOC week. I do hope you've taken the opportunity to reflect and celebrate the place of First Nations people in our country, in our place. I know Josh talked about it earlier in the week, and we've talked about it a little bit before, I know, but I really believe that Christians, the people of Jesus, should be at the very forefront of the move to make sure that we are there's a seat at the table at every level of society for our First Nations people, and particularly as we roll out of Chriso's wonderful sermon about unity, about us being unity makers as Christians. That's what we do. It's kind of creating unity and connection and holding on to unity. All these great statements that Paul makes. I think it's a great context for us to consider NAIDOC week. I know this is an issue which for many is complex, it's loaded, it gets political at times. I get all that, but I think we can push past some of that. And one of the ways that we actually create unity and give value to people is just to listen, just to listen to someone's story. It's a great way of making an issue into something around people. So if you haven't had the chance this week to hear some Indigenous voices, hear some Indigenous stories, then I've actually put just below here a link to a website with some stories. I've talked about these guys before, called Australians Together. It's a Christian organisation that's really committed, again, to this whole unity thing and believing that the followers of Jesus should be leading the way. And on here, they had a project a number of years ago called Sharing Our Story, which is exactly that, just for us to hear Indigenous Australians talk about their relationship with the land, their relationship with modern Australia, their relationship with God and the church, and it'll do you good. And so, you know, I hope you find some time to just to sit down and maybe have a listen on a NAIDOC week this week. A couple of other things that are happening over the weekend. Well, first of all, yesterday, I hope you got and had a chance to look through the letter that I sent out, which primarily was talking about this season where we are considering the reforming of our church going into 2021, the shape of Cornerstone. We've got this rare opportunity where the COVID season has presented us with somewhat of a blank page to reform, and we don't want to miss that opportunity. As much as we're keen to be getting back together. In a way, we're sort of holding the space for us, and I've invited us to go through a season of discerning and listening to each other. I know you might be like some people, just kind of, let's get to the point, let's get back and get meeting. I understand that instinct, but I'm asking us and leading us to just hold and consider what we might reshape Cornerstone around, because we'll never get another opportunity like this, really. So to do that, we're facilitating a number of conversations with leaders in our board over the next little period of time, including a couple of forums where we're going to invite everybody to come along who can make it, where we just want to talk a little about what we sense for our future thus far, but also hear back and feedback from you as well. Part of that discernment is firstly hearing from God. I know in my prayer time that's been a really key theme. And I've been so grateful for the worship gatherings that we've been having as a place where we come and intentionally cultivate a space where we can just worship, sensitize our heart to God, and hear God in our spirits, but also through each other. And there's another one of those this Sunday night. I really want to encourage you to come along. If you haven't been to one of those, or if you have, there's something really building there. It's a very special place. And this week in particular, we're going to really focus on worshiping together. We'll share communion, but also creating a space, creating time where we hear God and then hear from each other, sort of open it up to hear the voice of God through each other. Stuff we love to do as believers. So that is Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. I really encourage you to come along to that. I know it doesn't suit everyone that time, but if you can make it, you won't regret it. Also this Sunday, 3 p.m, our Cornerstone kids are getting together in Sedgley Park. Has been part of their rhythm where they get together and just have fun. So Sedgley Park is just the park behind me near Mina Parade where the pool is. 3 p.m. for our Cornerstone kids in the park. Look, I think that's enough for me for now. I'm just going to go and see if I can get somewhere on a deck and wait for hopefully the storm clouds to roll in. I'll be most disappointed if they don't come. I hope you've had a great week and we're looking forward to seeing you soon. Bless you guys.